Hey everybody, welcome to AP Night. I'm so glad you guys are here checking out all the different courses that we offer. I'm Curt Rakestraw. I teach the AP government classes here at White Station, and so I want to take a little bit of time to tell you about the government offerings that we have and hopefully answer all the questions that you guys might have as you're deciding what classes you want to take next year. I love this night. I'm pretty pumped to get to talk to people. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there live tonight. So I'm at the end here. I'm going to have something where I'd like you guys to send me any kind of questions that you have about anything. I'll give you a lot of different ways to contact me, and I'll reach out and answer those questions to you as soon as I possibly can. But again, first of all, I'm excited you're here. I'm excited that you guys are interested in politics, and hopefully I can convince you guys to come spend next year with me as we explore either the United States or different parts of the world and all sorts of political issues. So let me tell you a little bit about the classes that I offer here. First, let me tell you about the two different class options that I'm going to be talking about tonight. So I teach two different courses here. The main course I teach is United States Government and Politics. This is what the overwhelming majority of my students are taking. And then I also offer an AP Comparative Government and Politics course, which is going to focus on different parts of the world. So the U.S. Government and Politics class, this is a class where we learn about government and it focuses only on the United States federal government. This is not a class where we handle local government. We don't learn a lot about Tennessee or Memphis or things like that, but only focuses on the United States federal government as we prepare for the AP exam. We're going to focus a whole lot on principles of American democracy and about the kind of documents and the philosophies that led to the creation of the United States government. We're going to focus a whole lot on the ways that people are able to participate in politics. We're going to look at all sorts of different political institutions. And my favorite part of the whole thing is we kind of run through almost a mini version of law school. We go through a whole lot of kind of United States case law to kind of figure out like what our government or what our courts have said about our rights and liberties in the past. This class is a full year long, and typically what you're doing on the AP exam will get you credit for like an introductory political science course. So this will cover some gen ed requirements at a lot of schools, but especially if you're looking at a undergraduate career in political science, this is going to get you a great head start. The other side of things, the comparative government and politics class, in this class, we only focus on other governments outside of the United States. So there we're going to get to focus on the political institutions in other states. We're going to get to focus more on different theories of government, like not all just focusing on like an American style democracy, but different ways of doing things. We're going to look at different economic systems. We'll be able to compare what democratic regimes are like and what authoritarian regimes are like, and why a state might choose one or the other. And we're going to look at a couple of countries that have democratized since the 21st century began and kind of see how democracy develops in states where that's kind of a new thing. So we'll be dealing with all sorts of developing political issues, but this is a class with a lot more of a global context. So because this one focuses on more of a global context, what you're going to get credit for here at college is a more specialized political science class. So this will cover a comparative politics course at the college level, which isn't usually like required as part of your general education requirements and stuff like that. But those of you that are looking at majoring in political science or like an international studies kind of thing, this really helps you get ahead on those classes early. For the U.S. government course here, there's a couple things we need to clarify on the front end. So this is important because you guys are seniors. Like seniors are the only people that are allowed to take this class. And this does satisfy a requirement for the United States government credit that you guys have to graduate. Here's the problem. This doesn't satisfy your economics credit. You guys, as seniors, typically have to take a semester of government and a semester of economics. politics. This class is a year long, so it covers you for that government credit. You definitely get the credit that you need for government, but you guys need to make sure that you can find time in your schedule to take this economics requirement as well. This is a college level course, and so it's taught like a college level political science course. We're going to talk a lot, we are going to read a lot, and we're going to do a lot of class discussion. But like on your end, you guys are going to be responsible for a lot of reading, and you're going to be responsible for like writing and like arguing in class, like defending your arguments and defending your position on like different policies and things like that. So this class is government and politics. Now on the US side, when we focus on government, we're going to be going through the branches of government, the president, the Congress, the courts, the federal bureaucracy. We'll go through the states a little bit. We're going to be looking at the formal and the informal powers, the different governing institutions and the different like government officials and who they are and what their roles are, what their powers are, and all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to spend a lot of time focusing on civil liberties and civil rights. This is where we kind of do our mini version of law school, and we go through like tons and tons of different Supreme Court decisions over the years to kind of find out what those rights are now. But the other side of that class is politics. And this is probably the more interesting side of things. This is where we're going to be focusing on you. And we're going to spend a lot of time focusing on you and what you think, how like different issues apply or appeal to you or whatever. So we're going to be spending a lot of time in class discussing current political issues. We're going to spend some time in class watching the news. I'm going to hope that you guys are following political developments on your own outside of class. But we're going to be spending a lot of time talking about developing news stories and contemporary political issues. We're going to have discussions about the issues that are important to people in American politics today. And so sometimes we touch on issues that like people care a lot about, and sometimes we're talking about issues that like maybe aren't the most exciting thing in the world, but we're trying to get a feel for where American politics is today in this class. Now the comparative government class, this is a totally different class. This covers totally different stuff, and we get different credit for it. So this is also a full year class. Some of the differences here are that, first of all, this is open to juniors. I have some juniors who take this class. It's mostly seniors, but I do have some juniors in this class too when it fits their schedule, and that's great. We welcome that. This is only an elective course. So this does not meet that requirement for for government to graduate. So you still have to make sure that you've got a government credit in some way. But this is an elective course, and this helps you go off to school with a little more of that political science college credit if that's something that you're thinking about in undergrad. This is another college level class, and it's taught like a college level political science class. We expect a lot of reading in class, and we expect a lot of like keeping up with current events outside of class. But we get to talk a lot about all that stuff. It's all very exciting. We get to do a lot of research in this class too, so it's not nearly as writing heavy as the other class. But this one we do a little more research. So like in each of these regions that we're going to go through, we get to spend some time looking at the issues and looking at some new places that might be interesting to you. So this is a class where I get to be a little more flexible. We have a little less information to cram into the year, so we get to spend a little more time like exploring and having fun with these places. Like to bring in a lot of guest speakers from these places when we have that opportunity, and hopefully next year when things are back to normal, that'll be something we can do again. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. So these are the countries that we end up studying in comparative government. These are chosen by AP because these are the 6 that are on the AP exam. So we get to spend about a month really focusing on each of these 6 places. We deal with the United Kingdom, Russia, China, Nigeria, Iran, and Mexico. And with those 6 countries, we really have a good mix of the different type of government systems around the world. We really get a good variety of places and people to study different styles of government. We've got our oldest democracy in the world. We get a little bit of a democracy slipping back to an authoritarian style system. We've got a one-party state. We've got theocracies. We've got a couple of places in Nigeria and Mexico that have just been democratic since the year 2000. So they're like emerging democracies, and we get to study those and see how democracy develops in these places. It also takes us to the different regions of the world. So it gives us an opportunity to explore issues in the Middle East and in Africa, in Central Asia, in East Asia, all this kind of stuff. And these 6 countries, we learn the same stuff about each place, and we compare them place to place, which makes the AP exam really easy to prepare for, as long as we're like organized and we can keep those things straight. So this is a great class. I really love this because these places are fun to learn about. It's like a lot of new information. They're always changing. We've always got some kind of big global event happening in one of these places here. And with this 6 country rotation, we're probably going to end up with like elections happening and things like that. So it's always eventful with these countries, and it gives us an opportunity to explore other parts of the world too. I really think both these classes are a lot of fun. They're both they're topics that I'm really passionate about. My enthusiasm for this stuff really kind of spreads throughout class, and so I think we get to have a lot of fun. We get to joke a lot about what's going on. We've got goofy people in politics, and we get to have fun with it. We also like learn a lot about all kind of important issues that are going to like impact you in your everyday life. Like, I think this is a really important class to take with you guys, because you need a great understanding of politics here in this country and politics in the world. And so we are going to have a lot of fun. We're going to learn a lot of interesting things, but also I want to take a minute and show you guys a little bit about how successful we've been in this class. Part of this is because I grade this test every summer. So I'm pretty involved in the grading of the AP exam, and I bring that knowledge to you guys to show you exactly what you're going to be scored on the AP test, and what exactly you need to do to get the points. And so I wanted to take just a second and show you guys what we've accomplished in these classes. So the U.S. government class, that is the biggest class. We've had a tremendous amount of success in the past, and we sent a ton of kids off to college with college credit and political science course. A few years ago, we were averaging a 4 in this class. Since then, the size of the class has exploded. We got a lot of people taking this class, which is awesome. I'm so happy that more and more people are taking it, and we've got average scores there that are better than the global average, better than Tennessee, and we are getting a lot of college credit for this. In the comparative government and politics class, same thing. Our average score on this exam is a 4, which means everybody's walking out of this class with some college credit. And this is great. In terms of the two classes, like the comparative government and politics course, the tests are about the same. But with those 6 states that we study in comparative politics, once you know the basics of those states, there's only so many questions you can encounter. The United States government and politics class is a much deeper look at one state. And so we've got a wide range of issues that we've got to be prepared for and be able to answer on the AP test. But in both cases, I think we've had a tremendous amount of success in this AP class, and I'd like you guys to be a part of it, and I'd like you to head off to college with some credit hours already on your side. So I just want to take a minute and stress again how great I think these classes are. I will confidently tell you that these are the best classes that we have here at White Station High School. But it's just really interesting. It's fun to get to study politics. It's a really important time. We have seen over the last year what a tremendous impact different forms of global leadership have on our everyday life. And so I think it's important for you guys to learn about government and politics, whether you choose to do that on the United States side of things or on the comparative side of things, or if you're brave enough to hang out with me for 2 hours a day and have maximum amounts of fun learning government and politics. I got quite a few people that would do that. I would want you guys to reach out to me with any kind of questions you have about either class. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't be there tonight in person, but I want to make sure that I get to interact with anybody that's got questions about anything. I would also definitely recommend, if you are thinking about taking these classes and you aren't sure about what it's like day to day, talk to somebody who has. Obviously, the folks that have taken it virtually this year, they're going to have a very unique experience. But if you're able to get a hold of anybody of your White Station friends who have taken this class before, I think that's the best way to get a good feel for what it would be like to be in this class every day. Again, I can't stress enough, I want you guys to reach out to me. I'm unable to answer questions with you live, so make sure, don't hesitate to email or send me a text, even call if you want. You can get like Xi Jinping and pick up the phone. But if you've got questions about this class, I'm here to answer them. I want to work with as many of you guys as possible. So if you're even thinking about it, just send me an email and let me know. We'll see what kind of questions you might have and see if we can't make you more comfortable with it. So there's my email up at the top, rakestrawatwork@gmail.com. I've got my website on there too. We didn't really use it this year since we were doing everything on Teams, and Teams kind of facilitated all of the day-to-day class stuff. We didn't have much use for the website, but you can kind of poke around on the website and see what things were like in class a couple of years ago. And of course, that's my number. So if you've got a question about something, feel free. If text is better for you than email, then just send me a text, and I'm happy to answer those questions for you. So thanks again for hanging out tonight and listening to my few minutes about the classes that are really important to me. I hope I get to end up meeting a whole lot of you guys next year. I hope that this is something that you guys think is important and think that you're interested in. And I'm ready to give you all the tools that you need to succeed on this exam. So I look forward to seeing a whole lot of you here next year, and I hope that we get to spend a whole lot of time talking politics with each other.